turning back.
Welcome.
We're back.
We're doing it.
Yeah, we're back.
We're doing it.
Yeah,
the
it's kind of like sporadic now, right? Just for a minute longer. I mean, I think we'll get back into a groove of things like once we get
It's
like
wild.
dialed in.
I don't even remember the last time we podcast. That's
Yeah.
the sad. That's the hard part for me because it's been so consistent. But this has been the year of like life disruption.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said that for the last 3 years, but it seems to be like, it's like Theo Vaughn says, it's amazing how life comes at you. It's
Yeah,
like,
right.
Then
Like
there's
it
more
never
life.
stops.
And here's some more life.
Yeah. Here's
Yeah.
some more. Here's some more.
Yeah.
For you to grasp and to go after. Yeah.
Excuse me.
The last time we talked was 3 weeks ago.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because since then we've had a couple things. Maybe it was right after Trip competed.
Oh yeah. It was right after Trip competed.
I think we came over here after Trip's competition,
Yeah.
maybe. Right?
Yeah.
Kind of
And
seems like
he was in Chicago.
Yeah.
that
Kind of
is-
seems like that's what happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we make every plan and intention to go. I also like my life is disrupted right now, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that happens
You're in the thick of the government.
in the
so-
thick of it.
And we're feeling it in the corporate world, right? Like a government's a big section of our business. You know, we do business with the FAA and
Yeah, you said that.
Army, and like Army has so many printers. Man, they want to save some money. Sell
Get
some,
rid of-
sell some
get rid of
printers.
printers.
You know what they should do is replace the printers with digital documents. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're still doing print documents.
You know what's funny at my work? We have this schedule we have a schedule printed on, like we see the schedule printed.
Yeah.
Right. We know that we're supposed to check all of these things, and we put our initials in. We put our little data 4-digit PIN number,
Codes, yeah.
right? That says that you did your briefings before work. Every day before work, Tyler, I'm supposed to look at the weather. I'm supposed to monitor the weather. I'm supposed to monitor any things that have changed. So we have these briefings that we get every day, and they come to us on a computer that we all log into, and you check them all before you check everything before you go to work. Before you go to work, you have to do these things. You have to sign in.
Huh.
You have to check this weather. You have to sign that you checked the weather. You have to check your briefings. You have to sign that you checked your briefing. When you check your briefing, you have to do it in 3 different places, right?
Triple checks.
It's the same briefing,
Yeah.
but you have to put your PIN number in 3 different times,
Yeah.
right? And so
Like fail safes.
then we also have printed papers of all of that. I get so mad I'm like, why do you guys do this? Like I told the other day, I was like, why do you guys waste trees? Well, what do you mean? Look at how much better we're doing. It's like, really, you can do better by just having people making sure that we do it. You don't have to print papers to ensure to 4 quadruple that we've already done this shit, you know? And so I don't know why we still do printed paper of stuff. Most everything. I mean, I get mail sometimes that I'm like, I know I signed up for the printed or the emailed portion of this.
Yeah.
Don't send me your shit
Yeah.
on a paper
Yeah.
just for no reason.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird that we're going to go away from that someday, though?
I mean, there's some areas where paper is super helpful, but like the more I get away from it, the more I'm like, I really don't miss it.
Yeah.
I really don't miss it. It's shocking to me, and I guess like maybe in title work, right? There's still a use for paper, but
Maybe. I mean, most things digital signed anyway.
I mean, it feels like anymore now. Digital is the way to go. Digital's you know what I mean? What do you do though when like the digital goes down?
Ugh.
If the digital goes down,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Where's everything at?
You got to have some sort of hard archive, like you know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I guess that's what Tyler Durden was trying to find out by resetting the banks.
Yeah. See what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, we right now it's wild to me that we still do the things that we're doing. The fact that, like, you know, I know that this whole government shutdown is not based on like anything else except for posturing. They want to get things done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have these young kids at work, and I worry about them because, you know, you go from making a pretty good amount of money on your paycheck to not to, having a couple hours, 8, 16 hours, maybe shy sometimes. And these kids are pretty stressed out.
Yeah.
And we make pretty good money, but it's the first time dealing with it. And then right now we're in the news so much with like this, like sick out and them telling us, threatening, well, it's just a couple bad apples, so we'll just go ahead and fire them. And you're like, you just said that we're short-staffed. You literally just said that we're short-staffed and you're going to do whatever it takes to keep our staffing numbers high and to get more staffing. And now you're like, actually, if you're disposable, then we'll just fire you. But then I also am in the government, and I go into work and I see people there that I'm like, yeah, you're the person that should be fired, dude. You don't do nothing. Yeah. You literally don't do anything. Yeah. And a lot of times they'll use, if you go there and you get a little rough with them, they'll file a hazardous work environment harassment.
Yeah, you're making it. Yeah.
And you're like, what? I mean, I know the government needs some sort of overhaul, but is it for you to, politically charge it? I don't know.
Dude, it feels like there is a palpable tension in the area. We're just in our neighborhood. Like, in our community, local communities, right? Like,
Heber for sure, right?
You don't have to, like, drive very far to have people just on edge.
I know.
And we're in the middle of, like, it's election season, primarily, like for local government and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, nobody's nice to each other. There's no more decorum, right? Long gone are the days of Reagan versus Mondale, right? Yeah. Like, this kind of like political decorum, right?
Well, you used to be able to walk around, going through Heber, and I mean, everywhere you went, you would see somebody that you knew. Yeah. Yeah. Now you go there and you're like, I don't know any of these people. Yeah. Hardly. Yeah. And most people, have probably not lived in Heber when it was like so nice to live in Heber. And we both got here, early enough to experience it, but not like at the good part. Not at the like one stoplight in town. Now we have a stoplight. I mean, they had to put a stoplight on the edge of your street.
There was an accident there last Saturday or Sunday. There was an accident.
I sit there and I'm like, oh my gosh! Every time before I go out, I'm like praying that I judge that car correctly or judge something correctly. Yeah, it's just a weird. It's so fast. It's 60, 70 miles an hour right here. Yeah. And cars turning into that, Yeah. Does Ben drive the back?
He doesn't like to be on the highway.
Me either.
And I don't blame him. Like, I tell him, take the back way. But even the back way these days is like, it's crazy.
You said today that somebody
dump trucks. Yeah. So going down like 1200 south, right? Like you're going out to get to Mill Road, right? It goes from 2 lanes to 1 lane. It's pretty well advertised. And I'm just kind of going along, keeping the pace of traffic. And I kind of look over and this like big silver truck's coming over into my lane. And I start honking. I'm like, they're coming into me. They should have merged either behind me or sped up. There wouldn't have been enough room for them to have sped up in front of me. They really, really just kind of, I think, were trying to be dicks.
Just expected you to slow down.
Yeah, just expected me to slow down. And when I didn't, the woman in the car flips me the bird. Just the double deuces. Me and Ben are sitting there. We're just like,
was she driving or was her husband?
Her husband was driving. So I came to a complete stop.
And he said,
they got behind me.
Give him the bird.
They got behind me and I just came to a complete stop. Middle of the road.
Good.
Just a complete stop.
Good hell. Well, you don't know, right? I mean, like, man, you don't know anymore.
I don't. And then as soon as he stopped, I just kept going and moved on. I'm not
crazy.
Yeah. I'm like, this woman's fingers are writing checks, homeboys.
Yeah, that he's got.
He might not be able to cash.
Yeah, right. He's like, yeah, give him the bird, and until something happens, and he's like, man, I told you not to do that. Don't get my ass
right. And we pulled up to that stop sign at Mill, and I said, Ben, if I see him getting out of his car, I'm charging his door before he even gets out of the car.
Getting him.
I'm like, I don't know what to do. He's behind me. He's got the the element of surprise.
Yeah, so. Right.
But you don't know, and I don't want to be that way. I don't want to be all on edge. I'm already like on edge because my meds have got me all just whacked.
What are you on? What are you at right now? You're on last. Oh, you just finished your 4th. You are about to start
4th round of arsenic.
And that's it.
I'm done.
One more round.
4 weeks and I'm done.
And you're done. And really though, I mean, like for all your purposes, like you're cancer free.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we know that now that I'm cancer free, but like, yeah, it's double dead, right? They really want to make sure
it's gone.
Make sure it's gone.
Wow. What a crazy, I mean, like, and then it's like, okay, just for a moment, let me fucking breathe.
Yeah. I'm hoping that 2026, like knock on wood, is like smooth free. But like we're experiencing our own growth pains at work, and corporate world's crazy. You know what I mean? It's interesting, right? You've seen what's happened to gold and silver. Oh, gold's like $4,000 an ounce right now. It's
what?
It's like a record high. Silver's closing in on $50 an ounce.
What?
Yeah, excuse me. Pardon me. I'm dealing with some stuffy stuffs, but yeah, gold is going crazy right now.
Are you allergic to dogs?
I don't know if I'm allergic to dogs or it's just the seasons changing because I'm now constantly always outside. But I'm not ruling out allergic to dogs because I did adopt a new puppy.
You did.
And
this thing is not a puppy.
It's not a puppy.
I mean, it is for all intents and purposes.
She's not.
I thought she was going to be down here so she could be running back and forth and and then that we could see her. Yeah. So yeah,
we'll introduce her at some point. She's got to go to doggy daycare. We're working on doing a 2-week intensive with this dude down in Spanish Fork. Who's he's Malinois is his specialty. He's like. He's like, it's $2,000. I have her for 2 weeks, and you get back a completely different dog.
You have adopted, which is crazy that dog was. So you into the kennel with the idea, or did you know that she was there?
So, I'm on Facebook Marketplace. Is the only reason you use Facebook, right? Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, why not?
And so all kinds of crazy buy, sell, trade stuff that you just like. It's the equivalent of reading the toilet, the
paper,
shampoo on the toilet.
Classifieds.
Yeah.
It's funny because not to cut your story off, but you like every once in a while you'll kick on something and it'll be like, let's say it's a boat. Click on the boat and then you got boobs in your face.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? That's a good ploy.
That's it. They sell the boat with the buoys.
With the boobs. So you're on Marketplace. You're on Facebook Marketplace.
I'm just kind of scrolling and it's like local Heber, I think Paws for Life. And I'm like, oh, she's cute. I've kind of looked at this particular breed.
Which is?
German Shepherd, Malinois, we think. Everybody says
looks like it.
Everybody says she's a Malinois. Everybody that looks like her says she's a Malinois.
I would 100% agree.
I agree too.
Her face has the German Shepherd look on her face.
Yep. She definitely has like the little Malingator nip that she does. So we'll see. I sent off a genetics test. We'll see. We adopted her for $65 and I'm like,
she was already fixed?
Nope. We got to get her fixed.
Oh, she's not fixed now?
She's not fixed now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's okay.
Don't put Bo near her.
No. Yeah, no. She's even the kennel that I'm taking her to is like, ooh, we don't typically. So we've got to wait for her to get fixed so she can even go to boot camp. But they're saying once she goes to boot camp, it's like a whole different talk.
I'll get you a number because there's a place in town, I think, and it's not like a backdoor bringer really? In there, but there's somebody here in town that like does it pretty good. And
I met with one and I'm like, ooh, she's sweet. Maybe she'd be sweet to work with Cozy. But I'm
talking about to get her fixed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Because I've heard questionable things about when I've signed up. And
Yeah. You want to be careful with that.
Yeah.
You want it to be pretty quick and painless, which it should be.
Yeah.
In and out.
Yeah.
And so you go pick her up and
we just went to go meet her. I'm like, I've looked at this, but like we looked in December, February, like whenever all the kids were down here, and we looked at a German Shepherd at the puppy mill. She's so cute. They wanted like $4,000 for her.
Wow.
For a German Shepherd. I'm like, whatever. They're like, we have a payment plan. I'm like, this puppy mill, screw them. I would have never bought from a puppy mill anyway, but you care where you get these things sometimes, I think. But she was there. She cuddled right up to my youngest, Cozy. She's kind of a little bit skittish around men. Her and Cozy obviously now are having to work out their relationship, but
does she do okay with Ben?
Yeah. She does good with anybody who can with authority. She's also though a teenager, right? Her and Cozy are the same age in their adolescent, right?
Okay.
So Cozy's really sweet with her, but that doesn't necessarily translate. Cozy's got to be like, Riley, you know what I mean? Like you have to be kind of authoritative. Yeah. They don't respond to emotion the way we respond to emotion.
No, especially those ones.
Yeah. You don't cuddle them and they don't think, oh, this person loves me. They think I'm doing something good because you're being sweet to them. So they'll just do more of that.
And then they're also so intelligent.
Yeah.
That they pick up on any little thing.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, I can expose this.
Yeah.
That she was also doing some things of trying to get her way with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you're not going to get your way.
Yeah.
Because the other thing is once they realize that they can and they will, establish a little bit of dominance, then you can't get that back unless you grab them, hold them on the ground, and be like, no, they're the kind of dogs where you need to.
It's nature.
Be like, nah, you can't do that to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. My buddy's dog, he had one.
Yeah.
It was Cujo, is what we called him.
Cujo.
Oh my God. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
Because, you get for the most part, they're very kind. They're very loyal, but they have that like trigger of, I was telling that story of the thing where it says, here's a German Shepherd and the guy's standing across the room.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of chairs and the German Shepherd goes weaving its way through, bite the guy, take him down.
Yeah.
The Belgian Malinois jumps over all the chairs and just attacks the guy. And that's how his dog was.
Yeah.
And so it regularly bit him. And they would have to like hold it, and he would be like holding him and like trying to like choke the shit out of him because he's got to establish dominance. And the dog was like, yeah, you're not doing that to me.
Yeah.
I'm alpha in this relationship.
Yeah.
So they ended up having to, send him to he ended up going to be a search and rescue dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like probably muzzled, and he probably, the other thing is like,
they got to work.
He's a working dog.
When they get bored, I can tell when she gets bored, I'll be sitting like working. She'll come nip at me. Like nip on my heels.
Time to go.
Yep. I didn't adopt a dog. I adopted a training partner.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she's up at 6 and she wants a mile.
Yeah.
We did 6 miles yesterday, and I was like exhausted, and she was ready to do more. So
you also went to the other day. You went to the hot springs, right?
Oh yeah, we went up Fifth Water Hot Springs. Have you ever been up there?
I've never been there.
Oh.
I've never been there. I've heard the hike is amazing, and I heard if you're lucky, you get there and there's not that many people. But if you're unlucky, it's like spring break.
It is. It wasn't too crazy. It was pretty crazy. It was rainy, but it was awesome up there. It is an awesome hike. And the springs are amazing, but It's like it is. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And it's about a 6-mile hike too.
Oh yeah.
I think because if you can get a parking space in the parking lot, you're like at 3.
Okay. But if you can't, then you're hiking the length of your parking spot to the trailhead. Have you noticed have you noticed that you've lost weight, that you feel better?
I mean, I feel better moving. It's better for me to, as I study kind of the chemical reactions of these medicines, specifically this Atra, it's good for me to be moving, trying to get to jujitsu, trying to, get back into the normalcy of things. I have like no attention span for anything right now though.
Really?
It just feels like everything is switched on. I'm exhausted, yet I'm tired. Yeah. But I'm awake. Yeah.
Are you still doing the weed to off balance some of the stuff?
The weed was starting to make me really anxious. And that was really more for nausea. And so there's another drug called lorazepam, which is like a Valium that it's pretty good. It makes me tired, but I can like the anxiety just kind of goes away.
Really?
That just kind of goes away.
Okay. Yeah. And then are you anxious for this last 4 weeks to just kind of get over, or are you just like, I'm going to stay present, or are you like, fuck, let's just get this over with?
I don't know. I'm kind of sad, man. I've made a lot of friends. I mean, I'm kind of miss the people. Like the people in the hospital were really caring, and kind of you just kind of look forward to seeing them. And
any good-looking nurses, boy or girls?
Yes, no, yes, all of the above. Sometimes you only see the face, and you're like, oh, yeah. I don't know. I feel like I did the nurse thing already, and it was a fun ride. But we
moved on.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Just man things.
Yeah.
And what about you?
Great.
I mean, you're training
a bunch.
Well, you were supposed to fight this weekend.
I was supposed to have a fight this weekend. The guy that signed up, he was there. Tripp and I both had fights, and then we didn't. Oh. So we're going there to coach. We've been training a bunch. We've been Tripp. I mean, we're kind of like, we're ramping up for wrestling, but we're also kind of like not. We have a camp coming up on next Saturday, and we're excited for that. We have some good clinicians. We have 2 kids that wrestled with Tripp in high school and junior high, and they're going to come up. They actually live in Park City, but they wrestled at Wasatch like Tripp, and they're going to come and hang out. One of our coaches got hurt. He got into a motorcycle accident. Got the speed wobbles going down the street, and I guess as it corrected, and he corrected it through him into a tree, and he shattered his bottom half of his leg.
There's a term for that. I forgot they teach you in like motorcycle class.
He should not be on a motorcycle. So now he's out potentially for the season. So it might be just Tripp and I and Larry, and Jared will be there, but we may have to look for another coach. But we got 12, sometimes 15 kids out there, which is insane.
That's good.
There's really good, really great kids that are coming out. Lots of kids that are first-time wrestlers, but pretty athletic. Park City has this like amazing ability to have really athletic individuals.
I think that. Do you think it's it definitely promotes the outdoor lifestyle, right? You see that. I see that working at the rink. Like everybody's out, right? It attracts outsider type people. Yeah. People that want to be out and doing activities.
And I think just because of the wealth, that sometimes those wealth equals the opportunity.
Yeah.
Wealth equals opportunity, but then we have one thing that we're working on hard is like the Hispanic community, and even some of those kids are just so athletically gifted. I mean, you've trained with Alex, right? Like little Alex, he's on the wrestling team, and he's picks things up and like picks them up, and then can do it right then. So he's got an athletic gift, right? Yeah, he was on the mountain bike team.
Oh, cool.
Rode his bike everywhere. Rode his bike to parking. Rode his bike to train. Rode his bike to training. We just have a lot of fun stuff going on. We've got some fundraiser stuff. Before we came on, I was telling Tyler we got 500 poinsettias that we're gonna sell. We're gonna do some other stuff to try to get fundraising up. So we've got a lot going on, right? Plus work. Misty's working a bunch, so that's great. Does she
have a busy season, or is it like now that it's the weather's turning, are people coming in more? Or is it pretty much just kind of steady?
From what I gather from her and Crystal is that currently it's about to start to get wild.
Yeah.
It's about to get really busy. Yeah. And they're doing some really cool stuff there, and they're thriving, Tyler. Yeah. When I tell you they're thriving, they are thriving.
Good.
And it's funny to see their relationship. We've gone on vacation to places to go and market research some things, and it's funny to see their relationship.
Yeah.
They're exactly what each other needs.
Yeah.
Crystal's super kind. She's super caring. She sometimes gets herself where she doesn't, like, maybe she needs to stand up for herself, and and then she has Misty, who will be like, rawr, and they'll be like, no, you can't do that, and they'll off balance each other. Then Misty can sometimes be a little rough on the edges, right? If she can come off rough, right?
Yeah. So
she has Crystal, who can offset that with their kindness, Yeah. But then when they both get their minds set, it's like an unstoppable object.
Yeah, they figure out how to just kind of
and they're doing some really cool things, like now they're doing a lot of packages and things.
Yeah.
So you come in there and you're like, hey, you should come back more often. We're going to make you a good customer. If you come back, we're going to give you, these things. If you come back and buy this package, sure, it's a lot of money up front, right? Yeah. And I personally took that into my own. Misty kind of explained it to me, and then she kind of helped me because she's really good at she's a really good salesperson. Misty is, and she kind of sees when she gets you excited, then she's like, okay, I got you. Right. So she helped me develop where I do one-on-ones with wrestling, one-on-ones with some of the younger kids. And so she helped me develop a package of how many times we'll do it, how much they're going to pay me. And I've been selling packages, for this. And she'll help me oh, this is what you need to say. And if they start to waffle, here's what you do, you kind of add an incentive, and so it's been really fun.
Yeah.
And we both had birthdays.
Yes, we did. We both had birthdays.
We both had birthdays, which means that we're technically on year 3 and some change of doing this.
Yeah.
I turned 47 on the 27th, and on the 26th, you turned
44. Yeah.
And so we had our birthdays. Birthdays are interesting, right? Because either you love them or you don't.
Yeah.
And where do you sit? Do you enjoy them?
I don't know. I used to get really excited for them.
Sure.
But I don't know. I grew up with parents that my mom would make a big deal, but she would like, there was an expectation, like she was never going to deliver anything like really spectacular, like other than just
Be there.
And I mean, I love my mother's birthdays to death. She actually came out for my birthday,
That's right.
made dinner for me. It was amazing. I loved it. We spent the weekend together. We took her to Sundance, and, she's always very thoughtful with her gift. Her gift is like generally one of the most thoughtful things ever.
She put some effort into it.
Yeah, like really thanks. And I'm to the point where like I don't necessarily need that now. Like I really just enjoyed that she came out and spent time with me, spent time with the kids.
Yeah.
And so it's great. And my dad, he calls every year. So, there's been years where he's been in his own world and he hasn't. So for me, it's more like, do my kids remember? Do they make a big deal?
Did they?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Cozy did. Like, I think they all wished me happy birthday,
Good.
but it wasn't more than like,
Just a happy birthday.
just a happy birthday.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a birthday? Are you a birthday guy? Are you a birthday guy?
I like to celebrate everybody's birthday, but sometimes like, I don't have any expectations.
Yeah.
This year we went to Colorado for my birthday,
That's cool.
which was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. We had such a good time. Misty and I drove out on Thursday night and we went to the hot springs in Glenwood Springs. We went there. We went to Vapor Caves. We had good food.
Told me about that.
Gosh, we had such a good time. Glenwood's great, man. They've got it figured out, and I've heard that they're kind of like Heber Main Street. They're gonna build where like you go, it's over the top of the buildings, and then everybody walks on the main street. So like the throughway will go over. And it will be like an overpass almost, and then the buildings will be underneath them. I've heard that this is kind of like in the works for downtown Heber, which that's how Glenwood is. Everything is like elevated for the cars are elevated, and then all of the businesses are down on the bottom.
Huh.
I think it's a good idea. I was trying to figure out how that was going to work in Main Street Heber, but it would be a good idea.
Anything to save the traffic on Main Street, right?
No. Yeah. No, we don't need the lights. It's a nightmare. Plus, they need to take the trucks off there. I hate
The
that
biggest
shit.
thing is the trucks.
I hate that shit.
The biggest thing is just the through, right? Like just the through, the people cutting through.
And people are just so rude on that road. No local is on that road.
Mm-mm.
There's no locals on that road. It's all people trying to get through Heber.
Yep.
But nobody, if you live in town, you are not going on Heber Main.
If every time I go on Main Street, I'm like, I made a mistake.
Yep.
I've never there has not been probably in the past 3 years I've not driven on Main
Yeah.
and been like, this is a good idea.
Yeah. Misty, Mountain Elite Massage is on technically on Main Street. It's just on the backside of Main Street, and so there's times when I have to go adjust the signs or things like that, and there's always foot traffic on there, so it would make sense to be able to figure out a way to like get everybody off and just keep foot traffic on there, just only foot traffic, just nothing else. Park somewhere else, and keep it just foot traffic on Heber Main.
Have some parking rides. I don't know. I don't know. I've known it's a problem. I know like the high density housing people complain about. Again, that's my time on Facebook. That's what I'm reading. People bitch about who's running for president or who's running for mayor and who's selling out to the
money.
The money, the developers and who's in whose pockets, and everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got an overreaction. Everybody wants to be heard, and everybody's right.
Everybody's right. It goes back to like what you said at the very beginning. We have this like narrative right now of everybody gets an opinion, and you can like fight like a motherfucker for your opinion.
Yep.
And you can say your opinion. And honestly, like we don't even have to do it in front of each other. We can just do it on a text thread, or we can do it on a Facebook post, or we can like somebody can say, I was reading, I have some cousins that are really, really smart, and they're very educated. They're very worldly, I would say. Military guys, travel a lot. They're not just, they're not just people that make comments. Before they make the comment, before they share the thread, they put some thought into it.
Yeah.
And I have a cousin that shared a couple threads, and one guy, all he put was, "You're an idiot." Yeah. And I was like, "You're only doing that because you can do it on this."
Yeah.
And somebody said that to him, and he goes, "No, I'd say it to his face." And it's like, "No, you wouldn't."
Yeah.
You would, but you would know what's going to happen. Right?
Yeah.
You're gonna say it, but you're prepared for a fight.
Yeah.
You're not prepared for like somebody to be like, "It's okay if you talk to me like that."
Right. And if by fight you mean mostly just posturing and
I mean, my cousin would probably punch him in his face.
They probably swing. They come to blows.
I would. If you did that, if you said that shit to me, I'm not like.
I mean, I think you're probably right. Each dynamic is, but I think in general, you think people are really ready?
No, fuck no, they're not.
No,
that's why they wouldn't say it into each other's face.
Yeah,
they'd probably agree a little bit more. Probably like have a little bit less oomph.
Yeah,
them, right.
Yeah.
You get these personalities, and I don't get too involved in politics because I'm middle class.
Yeah.
It's not like the Republican Party cares about me. I'm middle class.
Yeah.
And not like the Democrats care about me. I'm middle class. I pay my taxes.
Yep.
I pay for my groceries.
Yep.
I pay my bills on time.
That's kind of me. That's kind of
I'm worried
me.
about my creditors.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not making enough money that I don't have
right.
bills
or
debt.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about me.
Yeah. Nobody cares about me.
Nobody.
Yeah.
They're not trying to get my vote.
No. They want my money.
They want my money.
Yeah.
And that's how I believe.
I'm a number with an income that provides to the bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And neither of us are going to like claim bankruptcy every year just so that we can live our life that we want to. No, we work our asses off and sometimes 2-3 jobs, hustle like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Get our kids to hustle, know. But you get some of these parties and some of these people behind these parties, and you're like, you can't. You're only talking like that because you're on a stage and you believe this is what's going to get your party's vote.
We've legislated this idea of safety, I think, right? Like, how many of these interactions should just end up in a fisticuffs? You guys know,
office fight night.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah,
yeah.
You throw some blows, you throw some hands. Somebody gets knocked out, and either you walk away from it and you never talk to each other again, or it's considered resolved. Or you dust each other off and you have a beer after and you figure it out, right? Like we've kind of lost the concept of danger. What does it mean to be dangerous?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or in danger, being in danger.
I mean, there's obviously this palpable fear that everybody wants, that is being perpetuated, right? Going to these events, like, this whole thing that happened in Orem, and there's these things that Antifa or whatever is happening in Portland, and you're like, there are some reasons to feel unsafe, but in our day-to-day interactions with other humans, we are marginally safe.
And we live in America. I mean, we're safe.
We feel, yes.
Yes.
Yes. We're not, back in the day, not very long ago, you got the West out here, you got the frontier out here.
We're still pretty young. Where we live is still pretty young communities.
Right.
As far as generationally.
Right.
Right. You know that your great grandpa lived here in Heber, or your great grandpa lived here in Heber.
Yeah.
That's a pretty young community, young genetics, right?
Right.
So the West is young, but back before, like you said, it's only a couple generations ago that they were killing each other, just for like getting a little out of turn.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're not that far from it, like you said.
Feels like we're going to sliding back to that a little, or like
I don't know. Man. It feels like we're doing it online.
Yeah, it feels more digital for sure.
More digital, and it also feels like you and I can just like we don't have to have an opinion because we don't feel like we have an opinion because we don't feel like we care. Well, we don't feel like anybody cares about us.
Everybody's got an opinion, right? Everybody's got an opinion, and they all kind of stink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to add to the voice of the nonsense. And then you got, like, the other day I was, like, the kids are showing me all this AI stuff with these videos. My daughter sends me this video. She's like, Dad, this homeless man has just walked into our house. And I'm freaking out. I'm flipping out. She sends me this video. She had asked Google Gemini. She took a picture of her front door and said, "Hey, make an 8-minute video or 8-second video of a homeless man walking into my into my room.
Oh, that scared the shit out of me.
It terrified me.
I don't like that shit.
It terrified me.
Well, and then going back to some of these things is like you're what we see, what we hear on the news, what we see is bullshit.
Yes.
It is 100% bullshit.
Whatever sells ad times.
And whatever can get you bumped to the top of the search history.
That's so funny because I'm listening to have you followed the Zach Bryan controversy? Like his new song lyric drops and it's like,
I know that I liked when he climbed the fence and challenged that guy, and that guy was like, had all those people in front of him.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's a man that stood on business.
Like, come on, man. Like, he jumped over the fence.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't mean anything. You're like, bullshit. He jumped over the fucking fence.
And it was a barbed wire fence.
He came over the fence.
Over the fence.
That's all. I only know that he's just in the news.
Yeah.
And each time I'm like, I like him a little bit more. I don't want them to get wrapped up in some of the bullshit, but I like him a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I liked Gavin Adcock, his music, but then I was like, kind of a bitch, man.
Kind of a bitch, yeah.
Should have fucking threw your tennis. You should have taken your cowboy boot off and thrown it at him or something.
Right?
You stood there kind of not tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you were like, no, I wanted to go and be on the stage. I didn't want those. It's like, no, you didn't. Come on. You're a puss.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
so he releases a new song, right? And it's something about ice knocking down your door. Can't build. I don't know the lyric that well. It was how he does. He'll release like a snippet and kind of just feel it out. Well, this one's caused all kind of controversy, right? Okay. People are calling him un-American.
They served his cross country,
right? They do him like dude was in the Navy.
Yeah, in the Navy.
And I realized what was going on because the people that are calling him out on it, these are people that are jumping on his name. They're clout chasing on his name, and they're using this song, whether it's controversial or not. Like, yes, ISIS knocking on people's doors. Like I don't think he's talking about how Old Glory's looking a little faded, and we don't know what the rest of the song is. There's not enough there to really be offended.
Sure.
If you're being offended by this song, to me, I'm just like, you're choosing to.
Yeah.
You're finding something and to let it rile you up. But then you see the guys commenting on it, and it's this Adcock dude and these other young country singers that are trying to up and come, and they're all telling him, hey, you shouldn't be in our genre, whatever. And he writes this statement, and he's like, dude, you don't even have written the whole song.
Yeah.
I served the Navy. My father was in the Army. Like we've served.
I honestly am trying to get ICE at my door and give me a free trip back to Mexico. I'm trying to go back to Mexico.
Right.
Missy and I were trying to figure out, can we go to Mexico 3 times this year?
Yeah.
Can I figure out a way to get to Mexico in December? And I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just go over there and be like, hey, walk up to the ICE guys. Pick me.
Right.
I'll go.
Right.
That we at work we have this airplane that flies in, and what people say is it's the plane that comes in, gets the deportees and takes them back over there.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, hey, tell them save a seat for me. I'll get over there. And we joke around about that, but I'm like, yeah, man, send me back. Fuck, I don't, whatever.
Yeah.
It's funny because people always talk to I know it's there, but then if you talk to people, they're like, I mean, really, the people they're sending back or the people that are there probably have done something that they shouldn't do.
Right.
So if you see it online and they're like, oh, this guy was a hard worker, it's like, well, how'd they know?
Right.
He probably did something that he should. There's probably a felony, and maybe the felony isn't what he's supposed to be doing, but it might be a felony, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not going to go commit a felony just to get back to get on the bus, but man, I want a free trip back over there. I'm trying to get over there.
Right.
I do believe that right now we are taking a turn for the worse.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was saying, that at some point we may be one of those countries where it's not viable to be here. Yeah. If the dollar goes low and the euro takes over the dollar, or something happens where our infrastructure starts to fall a little bit apart, we may not want to be most people want to be an American citizen. Most people are like, fuck, man, I want to go to America.
Mm-hmm.
There might come a time when it's like, I don't want to go there anymore.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to Europe because they're a little bit more accepting. They're a little bit more friendly.
Yeah. I have no idea, man. France looks like shit right now.
Really?
France is in some, I mean, they've had this mass immigration. The mass immigration is now somebody told me that there was a study that was done in Denmark about 130 immigrants from an Islamic country that moved to Denmark, and they followed the statistics of several generations and saw how many ended up in jail or involved in crime, and it was like a 78% incarceration rate, like on welfare. They weren't necessarily contributing members to society.
Sure. I believe in some sort of immigration or some sort of like control
pathway
of people coming here.
Sure.
Right? But Utah is very known for going, no, you can send those people here because the church is like, yeah, send them over here. We'll just convert them to LDS people.
Yep.
But then they don't take care of them, right?
Nope.
Imagine going to your local store, and all of a sudden it's like an influx of like people that you're like, I have no idea who these people are. They don't speak English or nothing like that.
Yeah.
They're not speaking Spanish.
Yep.
You're like, what the world, right? Imagine seeing that. It would scare me a little bit. I would get nervous.
Right.
I mean, like that would scare me.
Well, then to get to be told like, oh, white America doesn't have a culture.
I know. Yeah.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that like there should be some way to become a citizen. The problem is like the people that don't want to become citizens, there's probably a reason why they don't want to become citizens.
Right.
They're probably, they probably have a background or a way of doing things that's probably not like what you and I do. It's probably felonious.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Sure.
This is just my opinion. I have friends that like, if they came to America, they would be looking for a better life.
Mm-hmm.
They would be looking for jobs.
Mm-hmm.
They would be looking to provide. They would be looking to give back to this country. They would be looking for that. And I want a way for them to be able to come here.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. It's not
both of our parents were probably both of our ancestors probably came from another country.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. We can trace our roots back.
And we are here product of our environments because of that ability to become citizens.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're going to fight hard. We're going to do good for our communities.
Right.
You and I both have been pivotal in our communities. We've given back to our communities, and I want that for people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're not going to do a good job, and if you're not going to be a productive member of society, and I don't care if you're American or not. I don't want you part of my community.
Yeah.
Be a good person.
It really is that simple. It really is that simple. I think the problem is just the sheer numbers too. Sometimes like just the number of people.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, I want to move to a smaller community, but what is the right size community for me? You know what I mean? Like, where is it? Just the right size. I don't know. I don't know either. I mean, I love that where I'm at, proximity to the airport. We can travel. We have some great national parks.
I know. Like you drive between here and Glenwood, and anywhere along those lines, I'd be like, I'd live here.
Yeah.
I'd live here.
Yeah.
But you're adding 2, 3, 4 miles 4 hours from any major international airport.
Yeah.
Tyler, we live an hour from an international airport. We could be anywhere.
Yep.
We live an hour from it.
Yep.
Right? Our community, like our community, we have such good friends here.
Yeah.
We couldn't recreate it anywhere else.
No.
We have such good friends.
Yeah.
Like our friend group has developed like Eric, Grant, Tripp, Hallett, Preston.
Yeah.
You can name after name after name, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's my friend.
Yeah.
Our friend group.
Yeah.
We get together on a regular basis now to watch the fights.
Yep.
We get together with our men's group, with a lot of our community, right?
Yeah.
On a regular basis now, where we have a consistent group of men that we hang out with.
Yeah.
Right. Friend group. And everybody with the same goals.
Yeah.
Right. But we couldn't recreate that anywhere else.
No, I think we should, but
Yeah, grab everybody and move.
Yeah. I mean, I think these type of little grassroots movements are what men need, right? Like we need these little tribes to.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? I know when I participate in these type of things, I'm less. I'm less. I can be a little bit more patient. She can flip me off. I just stopped, right? Like, I didn't need to get violent. I didn't need to shake my fist. I didn't need to flip her off back. I just stopped.
Yeah.
And then I went on my way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just think it's. I don't know if there's too many of us or if there's.
Well, apparently, we're on the we're legitimately on a downward slide. Our societies are on a downward slide, like the production rate of humans. I got to send you the absolute funniest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. I've seen a lot of hardcore shit.
Yeah.
I've seen, people sent me the 2 chicks, 1 cup thing.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't make it through it.
No.
I have lots of friends that did.
Oh.
I've seen some horrible things.
Yeah.
I've seen some funny things. You know what sucked? I'll tell you what sucked. The thing that happened in Orem.
Yeah.
I made a commitment to not look at the video.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I literally was like, nope, not going to look up the video. Not going to look at the video. I don't want to see it. It's in Utah. I'm a little sensitive to that. I have my own opinions about shit. Right?
Yeah.
The first thing I just pressed Facebook, boom, it was right there. It was the first thing that came up, and I was like, oh, motherfucker. I didn't want to watch that.
Yeah.
I've seen some fucked up things.
Yeah.
I had never seen this.
Yeah.
It's called Samesies. You ever seen this? Samesies? Dude. I sent it to Preston last night. We were laughing. He was sending me messages back and forth till like midnight. Him and I were sending. It is literally one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And I had never seen it. And we're at work and somebody made a comment about samesies, no more samesies. So you can kind of guess what it's about. No more samesies.
Yeah.
No more ding to dings.
Yeah.
No
more samesies.
So fucking funny. And as we start to share these things, when you hear somebody that say the samesies or some of the things that talk about it, oh my gosh, we laugh about it. But there's so much fun that we can have in this country.
Yeah.
In this little world that we're in. Right? There's so much fun that we can have. And then you think, do you really need to focus on the negative? No. Do we need to
no.
Do we need to go deep dive of why some of these things happen, why the Orem thing happened, why all these things happen? Or is it just like, fuck it, it's just part of life? We've talked about that before. Like sometimes people are like, well, if there's a God, then why do these things happen? If there's a God, why do these things happen? And I believe these things are going to happen. They're going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. Good things are going to happen. And you could be like, oh, it's because of God. Or you could just be like, no, my faith gets me through the things that happen. My belief in God gets me through these things. Yeah. And my belief that there's a higher power, my belief that I can pray and I can have a relationship with something different than me, that I can't physically or emotionally or mentally sometimes understand. It's just there sometimes, right? And I believe that is a good thing, right? And I believe that if I put too much effort into negative, it's going to be there. Yeah. Yeah. It literally is going to be there. If I put too much thought into the fact that I'm not getting paid, it's going to be there tomorrow. Yeah. And so Eric made this super cool thing. And what he said was how he sometimes deals with things is he's like, can I address it today? If I can address it today, then I need to put some effort into it. Yeah. But if I can't, then it'll be there tomorrow. It'll be there in an hour. It'll be there next week. So maybe I don't need to address it. Maybe just eventually it'll just work itself out. Or guess what? If it needs to be addressed, it'll bring itself back up and then I'll need to address it that day. Yeah. Right. And so some of these problems, some of these things that we go through every day, maybe we just don't need to fucking work on them. Yeah. Maybe they're just not worth our effort. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I could not agree more. I mean, your mind goes where your attention flows, or your attention flows where your mind goes. Yeah. Like whatever, it's like these things rein you in. They're meant to be inflammatory, right? Yeah. Inflammatory cells, right? That's the point I was most crushed with, is how similar that event felt like to what happened in Columbine for me. Sure. Being in high school, having that parallel, right? And then just noticing that like the speed at which information now moves has completely changed.
Sure.
It's completely changed, and we've completely eclipsed into some new epoch in time.
Yeah.
And I agree. You give your attention to things that build you.
Yeah.
I think that's I've studied this year with kind of the concept of like no quarter.
Okay.
No quarter's been the Substack where I've kind of just written my updates on, but like the concept of no quarter, the battlefield concept of no quarter is that you don't show any mercy to your enemies. One, it's a matter of compassion in the sense that you can't take care of them, right? You're not backing down. You're not giving up. And so what I've tried to do is apply that to myself. How do I do no quarter to my weakness, the things that I want to get better? Not to push myself for performative experience, but to really get down and say like, okay, how do I give these terrible thoughts no more room in my mind to grow?
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of said, how do I evolve? How do I evolve? What does the next evolution of Tyler look like?
Yeah.
And when you start focusing on yourself, you can say, you know what? Screw these other people. They're having their own experience. Their own experience is going to reap them whatever they sow. And I'm just going to try to be grateful.
Sure.
I'm going to try to, connect with my friends.
Well, and being like, those emotions that just don't do us any service, anger,
yeah,
rage,
yeah,
vindictiveness, glutton,
mm-hmm.
All that shit, those negative emotions,
yeah,
they're going to be there, right?
Yeah.
We don't have to feed those.
No.
We don't have to keep feeding that shit,
No.
If you notice that you're not, this is a thing that's distracting you or impacting your life negatively, then you can also take the stance of like, well, I'm just not going to deal with it. I'm just not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to feed it anymore.
Yeah.
Right? But if you get like gratitude, happiness, joy, appreciativeness, acceptance, that's the men's group topic was acceptance. Acceptance. What can you accept in your life?
Yeah.
And if you can accept it, then it's okay.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't make you a puss just because you accept certain things.
Right.
But as a man, you need to learn to accept things.
Right.
It was a big topic, and it was a big thing that we dive deep down into. Right. But when you feed those good, happy, healthy qualities, your outlook on life tends to be better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We go back to what you've experienced the last couple of years. If you feed those negative feelings, which, don't get me wrong, you have to like give them some attention, but you can also just accept them and be like, doesn't fucking define me.
Right. Yeah. What are they at this point, it's what are they teaching me? Where are they directing me? Right. Where are they directing me?
And you don't know.
You don't know.
And that's okay.
And so you give it attention so you can kind of find out.
Or you can find.
And you can say, hey, what is this telling me that I need? Yeah. But you can't live in it and you can't be defined by it. Mm-hmm. When you start defining yourself by these things, that's when you need the validation. That's when you start seeking the validation. Unfortunately, these social platforms have given people that shouldn't be validated. There are some ideas that don't need validation. There's some shitty, dumb ideas out there. Whoever came up with the term that there are no dumb questions. Yeah, no, there are some dumb questions. There are some dumb questions.
For sure.
Pay attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't ask the same question when you just asked it just to try to get the answer that you would like to hear.
Yes. Yeah.
No, if the answer is this, don't ask the question to just constantly to try to change the narrative to be on your side. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
When you and I talk about this a lot with some of the things that you deal with in your personal life. Yeah. And I'm always encouraging you to remember who you are.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're like, no, I'm this, and you're like, and I'm thinking, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You're literally not. I'm your friend. I know who you are. You know, you're this kind, gentle man, and that's what people are drawn to you about.
Yeah.
Plus, you have really good looks. And so it's like people are drawn to you. Don't forget that, right? And if you focus on those things, then that's who you are.
Yeah.
It's literally who you are.
Yeah.
But you're a kind soul, and you can't change that about yourself. It's your genetic gift, and sometimes the way that we see our genetic gift can be a genetic curse.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, I don't like that about myself. And you're like, I need to change that. And it's like, no, it's genetic code.
Yeah.
You know? Whoever your people were gave you that. You can't change that shit. It's not butterfly effect.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
You don't know how that will work.
No.
Right?
No.
And like you said, you want to be able to have some tolerance in these environments.
Yes.
Because life is going to test the shit out of you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And who knows what's going to happen. And you don't know.
You don't know.
You just don't know.
You absolutely don't know. And you know, you say this, and I'm all for communities coming, communities wanting to bring their culture here and share their culture with us. I mean, I think there's time and places for that. I love Cinco de Mayo. I love, you know, the fact that I get to surround myself with this Hispanic and Latino culture here in Heber. We have some great Mexican food because of it. There's some great people here because of it. And you know, I enjoy seeing them celebrate the Mexican flag when it's their day, but I also would love to see them enjoy, you know, celebrating the 4th of July here, or the events that we hold culturally appropriate, the rodeos and things like that. You know, we're blending our culture and we're coming together for the better, right? And so that's not to say that, you know, something has to die, but something new is going to get something new is going to be born out of all this mixing. And I think whatever that is hopefully smarter and kinder and better for the next generation.
For sure. Because that's what it matters, right?
That's what it hopes. That's my hope. I mean,
your hopes are like that your kids' life are as good or you know, better than what we had. And honestly, like if you or I were to not be here tomorrow, we've literally had a fucking amazing life.
Absolutely.
And like our adventures have gotten better and better and better and better. And like the things that we've experienced, the loves that we've had and lost, and like, and those things have defined who we are as men. Right. And you and I always definitely say that it's not easy being a man.
No.
This narratives that we are dealing with now, it's not like they're proponents of like strong, valued men.
Yeah.
You know, that just keep their mouth shut sometimes and then voice when we have concerns.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need to go out on a stage and call out the generals for being fat, dumb, and lazy.
Right.
To get to feel good about myself. No, I need to shut the fuck up sometimes.
Yeah.
And just be grateful that those people are there.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes when I need to like voice my concerns, I may have to voice my concerns.
Yeah.
You know? But I don't have to do it every time.
Yeah.
You know, as a man. And it's not like we're proponent. Like our friend group all have the same values. We all have the same like mindset. Yeah. Right? We train together and try to kill each other every night. We train with each other.
Yeah.
You did 20 rounds the other day. I was so proud of you.
Yeah.
What a kudos, man.
Thank you.
Like how fucking insane is that you just are coming off of cancer and you were able to like savage your way through 20 rounds of like training hard in the academy, you know?
Yeah.
I was so proud of you. And everybody was like, that was so good for Tyler to be there. So good for you to be there. You may pay for it for the next 10 days. Yeah. But you have that mindset, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you're trying to like promote.
Yeah.
As a man, you're trying to promote these things. You're trying to like to be like, man, this is why. Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me. Let me be the role model that I'm put on this earth to be. Struggles. Hard last 3 years, but still rally like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Smile.
Yeah. What's all you can do, man? It's all you can do. It's
I was
all
so
you can
proud
do.
of you.
Well,
I
thank
was so
you.
proud
I appreciate
of you,
it.
dude.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
What do we got going on? What do we got coming up? What's new? We're getting into the fall season, stick season.
I need a battery in my bus. Thank you for being patient with me. I got to get a battery in my bus. The problem is the batteries that like I told you before that I'm looking at are expensive.
Yeah.
I'm hustling like a motherfucker trying to get that thing in there because we need to get some bus episodes in. We didn't do any, but I want to get some in. Yeah. I would like to take a big shout out to Riley at Salt Electrolytes.
Yeah.
Salt. I was on his podcast the other day, and we talked a lot about this environment. We talked a lot about you. We talked about yours and I's friendship and how we got to where we're at. Because Riley had said he met you at the camp because you guys were sitting next to each other. You were running the merchandise for the camp, and then he was right next to you. Yeah. So he said you guys talked, and then him and I trained, and it was a good conversation. Yeah. It was an hour and a half conversation with him. Huge shout out to Riley.
I think his watermelon salts were the ones I had They were good.
Salt electrolytes.
That's good.
I even asked him, I was like, hey, I'm an element guy, LMNT.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, tell me the difference. He told me the difference, sent me a package. And I actually like it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. So look that up, Salt. We'll probably hopefully do some more collaborations with him.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to have him on here. We need to get more. We're gonna figure out how to get.
We're seeing. I think if anything, this walking and having this little bit of time has given me like, how do we evolve this? How do we? Maybe we've hit something and we need to evolve, and what does that evolution look like? Because there's all kinds of changes that have happened.
We have again Mountain Elite Massage. At some point, they're going to be a sponsor of this platform because Crystal Joy CJ, her idea is that men need what we have, what we're doing, and her idea is to incorporate that somehow in their sanctuary. So we might be gearing up for doing another men's group there at her spot. We may do a men's meetup there. So we appreciate that. What else? Hopefully the government opens so I can get a paycheck so I can buy myself a battery.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I mean, it's all real. It's all very real. It's all.
What about you?
It's all very real. I mean, yeah, I think the same things are true for me. I'm going into my last round of training. I'm training an incredible dog that is hopefully going to be one of those. My goal for her is that she's one of those just attachments, right? Like she has the brain, she has the brawn. She just becomes one of those attachment pieces that
I would love to see her with a service dog vest on.
you don't technically or legally have to they don't technically or legally have to wear a vest.
Do you think you're going to come down tomorrow maybe to watch the fights?
Oh yeah. We're coming down. I'm going to go say hi to my dad, introduce him to the dog.
Perfect.
So I might as well just come see the fights. Yeah.
Tell Doug I said hi.
Yeah. So
I haven't seen
I don't
him.
know. I don't know when it'll happen. I haven't coordinated, but I need to get out of the house anyway.
Yeah.
I do have the little dogs while my kids and my younger family goes to the Mexico with their mom.
Okay. And how's maybe?
She's kicking. She's kicking along. She's still fierce, but she's leaking something, and I don't know what it is. It's
dude. That sucks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I know.
One thing, dude, ATC Jeremy, dude, this dude is blowing up.
Yeah, yes.
He's blowing up.
I know.
Bro, he was just in he
did my two big adventures he did within the same few weeks.
He was just on set with the new Yellowstone spinoff. He was just on set with them.
Really?
Yeah. He just had a
the
whole
Marshalls?
thing. The Marshalls.
Well, yeah, they were recording that. They had all the extras parked out in Park City Hospital.
Dude,
when I was
ATC
that's cool.
Jeremy. Bro, keep going. Him and I always talking.
Yeah.
Him and I always like chatting, chopping it up. And
Yeah.
he's always like stoked on, life and how things are going.
Yeah.
His Atlanta thing, he was supposed to move to Atlanta. It's falling apart. And I'm so happy.
Good.
Because
I hate Atlanta.
I love him being working around me so much. I'm so close to pulling the trigger on retiring in December. I'm so close. This last week I was hustling pretty hard, trying to make some money, and it felt good working for something that I, myself and a bigger picture.
Yeah.
I'm pretty close.
Good.
I'm pretty close.
Good.
I'm more, as soon as I tap past the 50% retire needle, I might just do it.
Yeah.
I might just do it. We'll see.
I mean,
I need to have, we need to have another round of where direction of some of the things that we were working on that we kind of put on the back burner after October, after this last. So you get done November
7th is my last treatment.
And then we pig roast the next day. So that night we're celebrating your finishing of cancer.
Yeah.
We're all sitting up together at night and roasting the pig.
All right.
So me, you, Grant, Trip, Eric, I think a couple other guys are coming out, and we're gonna do that pig roast.
Oh yeah. Where's the pig going to be? Where is it roasting at?
So we're trying to figure that out right now because we're a little worried about the smoke and the ash smell. So we're either going to do it at Grant's house or at the academy and then just do it there.
Spend the night.
We're trying to figure that out right now, but we're doing it no matter what. We got the wood donated. We have everything ready. We just need to get the pig. We have everything. We have everything already.
Nice.
It's going to be insane. So we're celebrating that night. We're watching movies. We're hanging out with each other. We're going to fucking have a good time.
Yeah.
I'll pass it on that Tyler, that's the night we're celebrating. Then belt test on the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's gear up for fucking fights.
Yes.
Next year.
February 28th.
All year we're fighting.
Yeah.
We're fucking rallying and we're gonna put some effort into our businesses.
Close to $2,000. I've raised close to $2,000 for cancer charity. So
I love it, dude.
I'm stoked. I'm about $500 away. So
I feel like we could sit here all night long and talk.
Yeah, we could.
We could do a Joe Rogan 3-hour episode.
We could do a 3-hour episode where we're
of
just
shit
2
that we're
hours.
doing.
It's been too long. We owe it to our fans who've hung in through this year. It's been bumpy. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for jumping on things like the Substack and checking in other places. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, whenever you think about the fact that like Tyler and I, our gratefulness for this whole journey, the fact of the matter is like we're just doing this to hopefully reach somebody, to hopefully like to put our name out there, to like to remind those that I don't know if I told you this, but I had a buddy from high school kill himself on my birthday. I'm not saying that he did, whatever. It doesn't.
Right.
But
Just
it was on my birthday. The timing was what it all. This guy was in high school. Him and I were like good friends. Out of high school, whenever we would see each other, we would we'd run into each other. We would always either have a beer, talk, bullshit. Dedicate this episode to Brolin Birmingham.
To him,
a great guy. He was a good dude. Must have been in the struggle, and at some point just was like, you know what? I don't got nothing left. I got nothing left in the gas tank. What we want is to ensure that if you don't have anything in the gas tank, if you hear Tyler and I, just reach out to us. Yeah. Because believe it or not, we have a lot in the gas tank. Even though like sometimes struggle gets bad, it's like, nah, fuck it, man. We got lots in the gas tank, right? Yeah. I'm gonna take a picture of us. I'm gonna start. This is my goal. Is as we finish and sign off. Let me do that again. Sorry. As we sign off, I'm going to take a picture of us, and we are currently signing off from episode whatever it is. It's in the 50s. And this is us signing off. We're up recording. We're grateful for you guys, and look out. We're going to come back strong as ever. Here we go. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, guys.